Hi, Maggie Harding here, and I want to show you a mini album that I made with the recently re-released mini album die from the Sizzix vault that Eileen designed. This is the packaging. And the die itself looks like this. So you could cut out a window here or not. And one of the fun things about this die is that you can also cut your pages with it. So the way you would do that is right here is the seam where the die scores the mini album along the spine. So if you take your paper and fold it in half and put it on the die where it doesn't quite cross over that score line, when you cut it out, you'll end up with a folded sheet that fits perfectly in the die. So that's the way I made all of my pages in this mini. I used Graphic 45's Time to Flourish paper to do this, and that's a very old collection, but one of my favorites, and I was very happy to see that I had calendar pages. So what I've created is a journal with all of the months of the year in it. And I did 2 pages for each journal with a little calendar over here on the side, which you can download from the internet. I'll put the web address in my blog post. And then just places where I can note little notes about whatever's going on in the month. We tend to travel a lot, as you know, and so I can go in here and mark the dates of my travels so I don't overlap things by mistake. So 2 pages for each one, and to make this quick, all the pages are composed pretty much of the same elements. This page, the little calendar, and then various little extras. But so this came together really quick. I made this in, I don't know, a day from start to finish. And that's doing good for me. So there's February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Was really surprised at how thin this ended up being, having 12 months in it. Look at that. And it lays flat. It doesn't even need a closure. The most difficult thing about making this album was getting paper to match the month. So like there are 3 signatures here, and each signature is comprised of 2 sets of paper. So here's one signature right here. So, you know, this is the one page, and in this case, the beige looks good with the green, but in this case, which is all red, the red did not look good with March, so I just glued a piece of green onto the red, if that makes sense. It's red on this side and green on this side. Obviously not the same piece of paper, right? Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you was how I put the signatures in. And this is really very simple. I don't know how simple it's going to be to take it apart, but I did want you to see this because I thought this was kind of cool. So it's just like putting the signatures in any other of Eileen's books, actually. But let's just start at the beginning. Okay, so we've got our 3 signatures. Make sure we put them in the right order. And first of all, this die does not punch the holes, okay? So I used my crocodile. I put this all the way to the back, and I turned it this way so that when I put my crocodile in here, I could see how to center it, and then just punched. And then I did that on all three, so they all came out the same place and the same distance from the edge, which was good. And then since these are exactly the same width as the cover, I did the same thing. So, and I actually made a little mark there so I could see visually through the hole when I lined this up. But once again, it just boom, boom, just real easy to do. Okay, so we start in the first hole. And thread it through the hole in the signature. And thread it through the other hole. And then in this bottom here. Okay. And on the back, turn it over and thread it through here. And get this next signature. You just have to line up the holes. Sometimes easier said than done, but it's not too bad. And then through the second hole here. Okay, you might want to tighten it up a little bit. And then come back through the third hole. Add the third signature. Okay. That last hole. There we go. Tighten it all up. Okay, now go back to this first one and thread it through the middle hole. Oops. You want it to go through the middle hole and through the middle signature. And that can be a little tricky, but it's not bad. Okay, got it. And then do the same thing to this one at the bottom. Okay, and then you want to make sure everything is kind of secure. You don't want them too tight, but you want it tight enough so they don't flop. And then just tie it. And I'm going to just tie a bow so that I can, I'm going to try to tie a bow so that I can take it out if I want to. Or add more pages or whatever. There's plenty of room here, so you could add some journaling pages or, you know, like maybe at Christmas time, you know you're going to want some pictures or something, so you could always put a picture page in here as well. So that's it. Really just a quick, simple little journal. If you wanted to, you could cut a piece of design paper and glue it onto a thin piece of chipboard and cover this so that the elastic bands don't show. Sometimes I don't like that to show. But that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today.